Hello everyone and welcome back to Sendit's Weather channel. Today we're going to take a look at the latest from the models for the next couple of weeks. But firstly, I want to start off by looking at the CFS V2 longer range month by month run to see what it is showing. It's my channel, I'll do what I want to do, alright? Stop with your comments and watch the video before you comment, some of you out there. I'll see you out there. Anyway, enough about it. It's all a good laugh. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna have a look at the latest from the models in a minute, but we just want to show you the CFS longer range run. So this is what it's showing for May. This is the May anomaly. High pressure just to our north and east. Winds are in from the east. It looks like a pretty dry and quite warm May. Again, could turn a little bit more unsettled in the south, maybe later on if this is correct, but of course it's longer range model. Now for June looks pretty nice as well. High pressure's just over into the east towards Scandinavia. Winds are in from the east. Low pressure's displaced towards the west of Spain. So it looks pretty warm again. July also looks pretty anticyclonic. Looks like maybe the summer pattern continues. High pressure again over to our east. Winds are in from the east. Looks like a pretty good summer to me. And then August finally. Again, high pressure over the top of the country. Winds are in from the east again, so a pretty nice summer if this is correct. I must say the signals are quite favourable for this. I do think that June will be a bit more unsettled and possibly thundery as well. Then if you have a look, September is more of a northwesterly influence, so could be slightly chillier. October's a northerly blast, so could be a bit colder there. November has extensive northern blocking, but again it's a long way off. December, high pressure to our west, winds are in from the northeast. That could be quite a cold December. And then January could also be interesting. Low pressure to the south and west, high pressure to the north, winds in from the northeast. Oh, we're getting shouted at for that one. I'm only joking. Take a joke, everyone. Only some of you out there. Most of you, 99% of you are great. Anyway. Right, we'll get straight on with things. So, we're going to start by looking at the precipitation type forecast with the UKV. So obviously it's pretty dry at the moment. Looks like a pretty dry weekend as well. Couple areas isolated in the northwest of Scotland may see a couple of showers, maybe such as the Isles, but not too much around at the moment. As we move to Sunday, there's some patchy showers moving in, sporadic showers moving into the southwest. They could band together and they could actually become quite heavy over northwest Wales and southern parts of the Republic of Ireland. They're going to clear away to the west, and behind that could be a few isolated heavy thunderstorms on Monday morning. There's going to be some heavy showers moving in. They could be thundery in nature through Monday into Tuesday, but there's not much around really. It has definitely weakened it down. There is potential for a few thunderstorms in the West Midlands. Nothing ridiculous, and southeastern England towards the London area could see a few thunderstorms. But to be honest, the conditions aren't really favoured at the moment for something like that. But you never know, you couldn't rule one out, and then after that looks pretty dry. Max temperatures are looking pretty good as well. If we have a look on Saturday afternoon, 21 to 24 degrees quite widely, pretty nice day. Sunday also 23, 24, maybe even a 25 or 26. Could be a 27, that'd be pretty nice. Monday, again, as well, cooler as you had North Sea, 18 to 20 degrees on Monday, but still pretty nice. Widespread 23 to 25 degrees. Slightly cooler on the east coast with that easterly influence, but it's not too bad. And then Tuesday, again, maybe slightly cooler on that eastern northeast coast, but mostly otherwise 20 to 24 degrees quite widely. And then finally into Wednesday, 23 to 25 degrees quite widely in the south and the west. Again, cooler as north and east. Looks pretty nice to me. Anyway, so we're going to start by looking at the chart data now. We've done all of our rambling on about all the other stuff. We'll get straight on with the chart data, and we'll start with the GFS. So again, high pressures over into the east of the country. Winds are in from a gentle easterly direction. Into Sunday and Monday, there's an area of low pressure diving southwards that could bring a few rain or heavy thunderstorms. You can see we've got the warm air aloft, and you've got a slightly cooler air mass just to our west. That could enhance precipitation rates. However, it does turn dry again, and high pressure kind of sits over the top of the country. It's a massive blocking anticyclone over Western Europe, keeping the weather quite dry and quite settled, and a little bit warmer than average as well. High pressure remains in control. Now, as we go towards the 18th, you can see we go into more of an easterly wind, which could actually drag in some Milder temperatures, you can see, well, warmer temperatures, you can see the 10 degree isotherm is just over Scandinavia by the 19th. It does look like a very dry picture again on these charts, like I said yesterday's video. You can just see, though, we do bring in an easterly influence, and, oopsie daisies, won't be a Send It video without something going wrong. Yes. And as you can see, there's 10 degree isotherm gets into the country there. You can see it looks pretty warm there, I must say. Winds remaining from the east, even into by the 20th of May, so quite a way out. It still looks pretty settled. However, you can see an area of low pressure trying to move up from the southwest or the south. That's going to be trying to bring some rain into the far south and southeast. They could be quite thundery, as we have got warm air aloft. If we have a look at the 2-metre temperatures, there you go, 21, 22. Not ridiculous, but pretty warm. And this is a low resolution model. If we have a look at precipitation as well. Again, there could be a little bit of heavy rain, and these could be thunderstorms in the southwest if it is correct around the 20th. But again, it's a long way off. Then as we go on beyond that, high pressure just remains to our east and northeast, really, and we continue to bring in the wind from an east or northeasterly from an east or southeasterly direction. 10 degree isotherm covering the country again by the 25th of May. Look at that, pretty summer-like there. And if you have a look at the 2-metre temperatures, max temps on the surface, 22 to 24 degrees, maybe even 25 in London and the southeast. Looks pretty good to me. Get your gardening on, get your barbecues on. Moving on to the GM then, will it show that similar trend? Well, yes, we've got an area of low pressure slipping to our south and west. That could bring some showers into the far south and west. I haven't really mentioned it too much because there's not too much significant going on, but a few of you could see some thunderstorms in like the West Midlands, Northwest Wales, for example. But I haven't really mentioned it too much. Again, high pressure though, by the end of this week, or next week I should say, high pressure is still in control, remains in control over the top of the country. Winds are in from a gentle easterly, it looks pretty nice. Nothing ridiculously warm or anything like that. By the end of the run, high pressure is trying to retrogress towards Greenland, but it's still set over the top of the country, keeping it mostly dry and relatively warm as well. 2-metre temperatures, again, 20 to 22 degrees. Long way off again, because it's 10 days away. You'd expect the temperatures to be a bit higher, but it is a low-resolution model. So next we'll move on finally to the ECM WF run to see what that is showing. Here we go. So we've got, again, high pressure sat over the top of the country. Then we'll have to move this out of the way. Then we've got an area of low pressure slipping southwards. Not as developed, so not as many showers, but still a few around. We'll have a look at the precipitation in a minute. That's going to slip to our south and west. Again, could bring a couple of heavy rain showers and thunderstorms into the far southwest Monday to Tuesday. But again, that's a little bit to be determined, but there's not going to be that many around. So if the ECM keeps the high pressure over and just to our east, winds are in from an easterly direction. But then high pressure tries to retrogress towards Greenland, but we stay quite settled. It's kind of connected together, so it's remaining quite dry, largely dry, and still above average. You can see the cooler temperatures, or the cold temperatures, going into Eastern Europe, and Western Europe's bathing in decent temperatures. This is maintained, and as you can see, come on chat, hello, thank you. Eventually, by the 21st, low pressure's having a go, moving in, and we actually end up with a cool northerly to end the run. So from warm temperatures to cooler temperatures. Again, not cold. Look at the time of year. 24th of May, it won't be cold. Temperatures probably still be in the mid-teens with this. But you can see it does eventually turn unsettled. And I must say it's not well supported at the moment. But there will be a change to unsettled conditions at some point. It's just a matter of when. But every time the models have shown something like this, it gets pushed back. So, you know, you take what you take what you can, I guess. If we have a look at the ensembles and we'll go London today, why not? You can see again, like I've said in previous updates, that it is above average. Like the whole chart's above average. London could even see the 10 degree isotherm as early as the 12th of May, reaching the temperatures into the mid-20s possibly. But you can see the chart is generally above average. Colder runs have completely eliminated, so don't look around the -5 line. It's not going to happen now. You know, we've got to consider the time of year, but we are remaining above average. The GFS run in particular is quite a mild run. I wouldn't say it's an outlier because I have a few runs like look at this run here getting the 15 degree isotherm in, but it is obviously a massive outlier. But there is potential there for it to reach a little bit higher, so maybe towards the 20 degree to 25 degree mark. into that third to final week of May, possibly. But it also could turn slightly more unsettled. You can see there are a few more rain spikes around the 22nd, 23rd. I did say that in my May forecast. A little bit dry at the moment, and then it might turn slightly more unsettled into the third and final weeks of the month. If we compare that to the ECMWF midnight run, then you can see that we are above average for the whole chart. Again, a little bit more supported for maybe reaching that 10-degree ice firm for London anyway. Again, air masses will be slightly lower further northwards. Precipitation, though, looks mainly dry, besides maybe a couple of heavy showers on the 13th. So that would be Monday or Tuesday, and then it looks quite dry. A couple of rain spikes. You won't rule out the odd shower into the east and southeast. But again, maybe slightly more unsettled by the 21st. It's a long way off. Will it get pushed back again? Probably. Once a blocking anticyclone gets in place, it takes a lot, and I mean a hell of a lot, for it to get shoved away. And this pattern, could it persist into the summer? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you all very much for watching. So yeah, looks quite dry. Could be a few thunderstorms around in the south and the east. South and the west, I should say. Maybe southwest England and possibly northwestern Wales. Could see a few thunderstorms. But on the whole, it looks quite dry and quite pleasant. Thank you all very much for tuning into today's video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Check out the links down below. Bye everyone.